So what we have here is Beta Ray Bill. And I have never been a big fan of Thor and its hammer. I mean, I like and in the original, right, where 10, 20 years ago where they started doing the Marvel stuff. And I like Thor, but they started adding new characters, and the other characters just seems more versatile than Thor, which seems to be an unbeatable god that somehow fell. But anyways, he had this like crazy hammer, and even when Beta Ray Bill came out, right? I was thinking, yeah, he just has a hammer. I mean, you know, he was worthy of the hammer, and he did take Thor's hammer. I don't remember what happened, but anyways, so I was never a big fan of the heavy hammer thing. I like the Iron Man, the Spider Man, even Captain America. But Thor, the big macho hammer thing, I just wasn't into it. Now he Beta has a big axe. It reminds me of the Stormbreaker, right? I mean, you remember Thor? He had like all these things, and then he had a Stormbreaker that replaced his hammer because his hammer broke or something happened to it. I don't remember what happened to it, but it was gone. And interesting. See, I'm trying to find Thor now. There's so many characters out here. You know, it's like a dime a dozen, right? So here's Thor and his hammer, right? You see this thing change. Like we just saw that with Beta Ray Bill, right? And then of course the sword actually was good. There's the hammer or the axe. You have the axe again, and then now you have the axe and the hammer. And then of course this is goes back because the other one is part of the end game and stuff. But the best times was during the end game days, right? Before the end game. Now it's just like there's a bunch of stuff that are coming out, and most of which is not that captivating. So, anyways, like I've always said, right? I mean, the uniform is always better than the normal character. So this guy was a normal character. Now you have a uniform, which means if you upgrade this character and you want the best of it, then you have to get the uniform. Now, the only problem and the only thing that's standing in between you and the uniform's way is money, right? If you want to put in the money to do it. Now, if you don't, then you don't, right? I mean, no one, it doesn't make sense to be throwing good money after bad money. All right, so anyways, so I've never been a big fan of the macho characters, but here is Beta Ray Bill. All right, so actually, I didn't pay attention at first, but it seems like they gave him what you call the blue flame. You notice the only thunder portion that comes in is when Thor is there. I watch Thor comes in, that's where the lightning comes in. But before, right, they used to be lightning too. Beta Ray Bill used to be a lightning user. Now he's a blue flame user, which is pretty cool. So you have a clash of lightning and blue flame that happened just right there. And then Odin comes in and separates them. So, I like the blue flame that represents Beta Ray Bill now, but I just want to see one thing. I'm pretty sure he was lightning too. What they changed him to blue flame. So let's look at the original, which I do have. Okay, so that move was always like that. But you know what's interesting is that I never noticed that Beta had a yellow lightning and Thor had a blue lightning. I thought lightning was lightning, right? I mean, it's interesting how I never paid attention to that. Now that I'm looking at, so now he has yellow lightning. Now he has blue flames, and Thor is blue lightning. Interesting concept.